right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miguel, and this is Schizo Podcast, episode 42. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet for in my channel, then yeah, might as well do so if you're having fun and watching me like rant or maybe talk about stuff that you may be interested in. So there we go. It's a Tuesday night, and here in the Philippines, if you don't know yet, it's the start of the MECQ. That's right, two step forward going to GCQ, and one step backwards going to MECQ. And that's one of the things that I like to talk about, among other stuff. But we'll start with that. I'm not sure how you're affected with this change. So GCQ is a little bit more lenient. A lot of people can go out. Only the old people and the very young people cannot go out in the GCQ. And now with the MECQ, at least for 2 weeks, a lot of people cannot go out. Everyone who does not work or like they don't have any reason to go out. You can't go out leisurely and anything like that. So you cannot. You'll be forced to stay at home if you don't have any ID. But my problem there is I don't know if that's gonna be what do you call this? It's gonna is that gonna be implemented easily because we've been in GCQ for quite a long time, and I don't think the government officials themselves are gonna be are gonna be equipped. Even the police people or the army, are they gonna go back to doing the MECQ right away? I don't think so. So it's a question that probably gonna be answered in the next week. I don't think anything's gonna be implemented as of the moment. So I feel like this decision is only to please the medical staff, the frontliners, because honestly, there has been a lot of pressure to Duterte or to the I don't know to the administration to reduce the or to tighten up the security or the measures to control the number of people who are in the hospitals because they are saying that there's a surge and there's a lot of people who's getting COVID and there's no longer room for them in the hospitals. Yeah, I guess a lot of the business people, including myself, is gonna be kind of disappointed with the one step backwards with the MECQ. But then again, as I was saying, I don't think it's gonna be implemented anyway. It's just for face value. Actually, it's just to give the frontliners, in theory or at least um, in the in what is out there or online that Duterte did the right thing that they followed the frontliners. But is it going to be implemented? I really do not think so because it's only for 2 weeks. Again, it's only for 2 weeks. You know us, the government officials. It really takes a lot of time before they actually implement things. It's easy for them to stop implementing something or like stop doing something like when we went from the lockdown into GCQ, everything was stopped right there and then. The next day, not a lot of the army people are on the streets. Nobody's checking anymore. But to go back one step backwards, it's gonna be tough. So I don't think it's gonna be implemented. But I guess the frontliners are happy with this, and I also have friends. I actually have family members who are frontliners, and I guess I cannot complain. If they say this is good for the country, then so be it. But if you want my comments, if you really want to know what I think if you look at the number of cases, I think I checked earlier, it's 112,000 number of cases in total, from way back up till now, 112,000. And the number of deaths is at 2,500. Not exactly 2,500, but around that ballpark. So 112,000 compared to 2,500. That's around 1.8%. That's a very low death rate for something that we are gearing towards every single day. We're doing a lockdown for it. Flu is at 0.9%, and we're basically letting people, like, even if you have flu, you can go to work. You know what I'm saying? But with this COVID thing, which is like, granted, it's twice as dangerous as flu, but quite honestly, the way we are the way we are, you know, protecting ourselves against it is kind of OA. Uh, you'll hate me. Maybe you'll hate me for saying that, but I I just think so. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion, and maybe we are overreacting, and maybe the news has something to do with that. Because the news are always saying, "Oh, COVID is this, is that. We have to be careful. We are. It's probably the end of the world and all that." Um, we are living in fear of this COVID thing, and not a lot of people are even talking about the real solution for COVID, which is health. You should have a good health in order for you to battle COVID, and people are talking about, oh, mask. I get it. Health is not something that you can buy, but damn it, that's the best way we can fight it. And we all we're talking about are things that we can buy. Masks, face shields, socially distancing. I get that, but again, health. That's the most important thing. And plus, if you add in the fact that it's only less than 2% that's dying for COVID, I think we really are overreacting. And again, also, 2% are deaths. It's easier to count deaths than the number of cases. So there's probably even more number of cases of COVID that we don't know. But the number of deaths is easy because if someone is dead, it's easy to tell, and then check the reason why he or she died. You can really say if it's COVID or not. So there's probably a lot more people who has COVID that we don't know, and like you can say that the number of deaths are like probably maybe skewed a little bit because a lot of people are overreacting maybe. And so my point is there's gonna be a lot more number of COVID cases, and then same number of deaths. That's gonna be a huge. That's gonna be way less percentage than the actual percent right now, which is 1.8%. So I really think we are overreacting about this. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm just respecting what other people want. If they want me to wear a mask, if I need to go somewhere and then I need to wear a mask, then fine. I'll respect your wishes. But me personally, I really don't think this is. I really think we are overreacting there. Yeah. Another thing that I like to talk about is the PhilHealth situation that I heard today. I don't know if it's just today, but this is the I think it was 6 hours ago. I checked. So yeah, it probably is today. And a lot of things happened during the weekend, so forgive me if this may be a long episode. Maybe around 20 minutes, but I'll try to keep it short. But PhilHealth, my commentary on that. I've said it before. A lot of the government officials are just there, or like they really want to get into power for them to easily steal money from us and be called heroes. If you're a politician, if you're a government official, a lot of people will look at you, or like, quite frankly, you kind of are like, it's a service. You get paid less with the amount of work that you're doing. You're kind of like taking a pay cut. But what a lot of Filipinos don't know, or at least now we already know, well, that's not really the case. It turns out these politicians, these government officials, they're actually getting more than what they're declaring that they're getting. Just this thing, the PhilHealth lost 10.9 billion, billions of pesos. They lost billions of pesos from fraud. The most noteworthy in there is in the IT department. They have a laptop that is worth 900 million pesos. Are you kidding me? These are things that I've said before. A lot of the government officials are just there to steal money from us. And just this 2019 PhilHealth, uh, apparently it's out in the open. They are they are fraudulent. They are taking money from us, and I don't even know how that works because I think I am paying automatically to PhilHealth because of my work. So I automatically pay taxes, and PhilHealth is included in the taxes. I want us to at least have the opportunity or have the choice to choose not to pay for these insurance because me personally, I don't think insurance is a good thing. Uh, you pay a lot of money in order for you to or and for you to be able to may you may or may not be able to take that in the future because if you don't get sick or if you're not if you don't get sick or if you're not able to claim the insurance because you're pretty healthy or you grew up healthy, then that's a lot of money that you pay monthly goes down to the government. Uh, it's all in good if the money that you pay goes directly to other people who are in need, other people who get sick that may not be as healthy or may not be as rich or does not have a lot of money. That's good if it goes to them. But apparently it doesn't go to them. 10 billion goes uh, to the government officials, to those people who are scum, people who I don't know if they're healthy, but people who are just there to take money and undeservingly taking money from the Filipino people. I've said it over and over again. This is a thing that we are not able to destroy. We are not able to eradicate completely, even though Duterte wanted it to happen. One of his movement or one of his, I don't know, speeches before he got elected is to eradicate corruption here in the Philippines. It's deeply rooted, ladies and gentlemen. This is not something that is that can be easily eradicated. I think a lot of these politicians they are working together in order to steal money from us, and this is why the the new anti-terrorism bill is very suspect to me because I think this is the government officials trying to work together for them not to be caught in their corrupt doings, and it makes me sad for us, for the ordinary citizens who are trying to live or at least trying to make it work here in the Philippines. It's getting way tempting to leave the country and start a life elsewhere. But then again, uh, it's just hard. It's very depressing. I feel like, uh, well, at this point, I don't think we can do anything. Even though we vote good leaders, sometimes they're gonna be corrupted because if everyone else is doing it, then sometimes you just join them. So yeah, this PhilHealth thing is definitely a blunder. What I would call for is maybe we should have the chance or the option not to pay the the tax or like not to pay the PhilHealth anymore because it's it's ridiculous at this point. If uh, if you're concerned about your health, And maybe it's better if you just save your money and maybe put it in a bank. At least it's in your own name, and then if you ever get, if you get sick in the future, you can use that savings that you have, monthly you pay instead of paying to PhilHealth. You put it in a bank account, and then it accumulates when you get older. Maybe if you get sick, you can use that money. You know what I'm saying? Or you can use that to invest in a business, or you can start your own business so that you can, so that it doesn't go, or you are not just hoping that the government does not squander it or does not use it for their own gain, and in the end you don't get anything because the government took it for their own. You know what I'm saying? So it is better, maybe it is better for us to have the option not to pay PhilHealth. Let's start with PhilHealth. I'd like for I'd like for me to not pay any taxes, but let's start with PhilHealth because PhilHealth, for obvious reasons, is not working. It is bullshit. They are not. Uh, this is, I don't know. This is absurd. They're not to be trusted and not to be given money for sure. Cynthia Villar has been in a lot of memes because of what she said about the frontliners, about the nurses, and all that. I have a theory, and this is, I mean, I'm not siding with her. Well, what she said are pretty terrible, but I understand. I guess I understand why she's saying it, and let me tell you why. So in her time, because she's really old, I think a lot of the nurses back then were not really as educated because, quite frankly, now nursing, there was a time when you have to do 5 years to do 5 years in order to graduate nursing. You know what I'm saying? So right now, the credentials to be a nurse is top notch. It's really hard to be a nurse now because the demand to be a nurse went high for a moment, and then so a lot of people, a lot of my classmates in high school, they went on to be a nurse. They studied nursing, and the reason why a lot of nursing students went to call centers because there's it so happened because there's a lot of nursing students. uh, the number of nurses or like soon to be nurses is more or way more than the actual demand for nurses. So that's why they tried to increase the credentials in order for you to be a nurse. But back then, not a lot of people wanted to be a nurse. That's why the credentials was not as good. It was not as or it was not as stringent as it is right now. So during Cynthia Villar's time, that was probably the case. And so that is probably the reason why she is saying all these things. Honestly, that's an uninformed statement. That's an uninformed what do you call this? Uninformed comment, and she's getting bashed on social media, rightly so. Because if you're gonna talk that reckless and y- you have that amount of money, then it shows that you're like a heartless piece of shit, and that you really are uninformed and you don't really care about these people, especially since she's a government official. She should be a little bit more informed about the people that she you know uh, that she oversees. But apparently, that is not the case. She is more. She's probably just in government, in office, or sitting as a politician for her own gain, for her own benefit. That's probably the case because it's absurd that she doesn't know any of these things. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm not defending her at all. That's I think I'm just giving you the psyche that she has, and but she still has to be killed on social media. I totally agree. For us killing her, I am all for that. I do like Villar, Manny, the husband. I guess this girl, because of Manny's efforts and because Manny accumulated a lot of riches, that the that the wife became a piece of shit. She's probably a cougar. But yeah, so she's probably got used to all those fancy things that she is now a little bit insensitive to, the masses, the people that she oversees. So yeah, I mean, in this particular case, we can just not vote her anymore, and I think that's gonna be the case unless people do the vote buying and stuff. And in that case, we can no longer control that. Maybe you can control that if you're like if you're like part of the the people who takes money from politicians and then vote for the politician who you took money from. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, if you're listening, please don't do that. Let's have a little bit more sense. Let's vote for people who we can actually trust, little by little. It's not gonna happen right away. It's gonna be hard. Again, this is deeply rooted. The problem of corruption that we have in the Philippines is something that we cannot kill in a few years. It's gonna take probably decades, probably a century. And I'll probably be dead before we can actually change that. But little by little, we can make a difference. And if you are a voter, and you are vote by, if you are, if you're selling your votes, then you are most likely the first people who can really make a difference. So if I personally do not sell my votes, or sell my vote. I only have one vote. I do, I don't sell my vote. So that's something that they cannot get. But if you are a person who sells your vote, if you do not do that, then little by little we can make a change. Yeah. So there you go. Uh, yeah, that's all for the heavy topics. Some of the smaller topics, Liza Soberano, we all know that she's like, physically, she's a specimen. She's really beautiful, amazing, looks amazing. Recently, she has a photo on Instagram that will make you go, hmm. I'm just sharing. Not a lot to talk about there. Just wanted to share and go to her profile. I actually saw this from my friend, who's her hairstylist. Thank you. That's it's really good. Uh, that's the only time that I feel like ABS-CBN made a good choice. That made a, but think about it. ABS-CBN both have Liza and Xander Ford, who who by the way announced that he is no longer part of the LGBT, which is funny to me because, quite frankly, I don't think he was ever, or like the LGBT people ever accepted him as as part of it, as part of the LGBT. So he's assuming, and what can you do? He's stupid. There's nothing we can do about that anymore. But yeah, so you can thank me later. You can go check out Liza. I'm not a promoter for Liza. I just think that that photo is amazing. Yeah. That's it. I don't. That's already 25 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to end with that. So that's all I'd like to say. Yeah. See, I ended this this particular episode with a positive one. I I said someone is beautiful. So there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode 42 of Schizo Podcast. And I'll see you on Friday. Yeah. And hopefully, we still have a lot more to talk about then. Uh, Hopefully, not a lot more political stuff. Not, no more, no more corruption and all that. Uh, but of course, this is not up to me. If there's a news about corruption, then I have no choice. I have to talk about it. But hopefully, there's no more corruption that is that happens, so that we can move on to more I don't know, happy news or like happy conversation. Yeah. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Miguel, and I'll see you on Friday, episode 4 for episode 43. This is episode 42. I am out. Good night.